Queen Saren's stylus scratched across the arrest order. She thrust it toward High Prefect Orin Kest. Capture the human. Drag him here in chains. Let the court see strength. Kest snatched the parchment. His mandibles clicked approval. Shockwords will seal the embassy corridor. No escape. He strode from the throne room. Guards snapped to attention. Elias Ward strode down the embassy corridor toward the throne room doors. Archivist Mediator Tesk hurried at his side, frills quivering. Tesk clutched a data slate. Envoy Ward. The Queen signed the order moments ago. Prefect Kest deploys containment now. Turn back. Diplomacy demands protocol. Elias kept walking. He adjusted the formal complaint packet under his arm. Protocol got us this far. Time to deliver. The walls hummed. Blue energy fields snapped into place ahead, sealing the hall. Shockwords touched them, and volts dropped. Tesk halted. His scales paled. Sealed. Impossible to breach without codes. We wait for escort. It pulsed from emitters embedded in the walls. Standard Vol design. Power conduits exposed for quick maintenance. Aliens built for spectacle, not subtlety. He set the packet down, knelt by the nearest wall panel. Watch. Envoy, tampering risks execution. Elias pried the access grate with his multi-tool. Sparks flew. He traced the conduit. Feedback loop here. Safety override for techs. He shorted it with a quick jumper wire from his kit. The emitter whined. Elias yanked it free. The ward flickered out in a chain reaction, fields collapsing section by section. Silence fell.
Tesk stared. You stripped it.
Like dismantling a child's toy. Elias stood. Dust shook from his sleeves. Their grids prioritize access over security. He scooped up the packet. Walked through the open hall. Tesk followed, frills erect. The prefect will rage. This shames the guard. Elias pushed the throne room doors. They swung wide without challenge. Gasps rippled through the court. Nobles in iridescent robes twisted necks. Queen Saren straightened on her crystal throne, her violet eyes narrowing. At 23 cycles, she ruled a fractious hive. Youth her weakness, spectacle her shield. High Prefect Kest whirled from his post. Guards, seize the intruder. No one moved. Warriors gripped spears, frozen. Elias crossed the marble floor. He stopped before Tesk's podium at the dais edge. Held out the packet. Formal complaint.
Embassy violations. Article 47.
Tesk blinked. Took it with trembling claws. This unannounced entry violates court right.
Saren leaned forward. Her crown gleamed under lumen orbs.
The human defies my order. Kest, explain this failure. Kest's spines bristled. He jabbed a claw at Elias.
Shockwords locked the corridor. He could not. Elias met the Queen's gaze.
Calm. Your wards worked fine until I removed the emitter.
Exposed conduits. Easy fix.
Murmurs swelled. A noble hissed.
Impossible. Ward seal by royal weave. Chancellor Elira Sen glided from the shadows. Her strategist robes swirled. She eyed Elias like a new blade. Prefect, your containment crumbled. The human walks free with papers. What threat does he pose now? Kest snarled.
Destabilizing! He mocks Valmight.
Triple the wards on the embassy. Lock him in place.
Saren raised a hand. Silence crashed down. She studied Elias.
No fear in his stance. No boast. Just readiness.
You carry complaints. Speak them.
He translates Calicarius's personalities. Tesk unrolled the packet. His voice echoed. Allegations. Unlawful surveillance of embassy comms. Prefect's guards trespassed boundaries. Demands. Cease, compensate, or human alliance withdraws aid shipments. Elira smirked. Aid we need for the border famines. Clever leverage. Kest pounded his podium. Lies. The human spies for off-world rivals. Arrest him now. Saren's tail flicked. Pressure mounted. Factions watched. Her throne teetered on displays of control. Yet this human dismantled her trap without sweat. Tesk, verify the claims.
Tesk scrolled the slate. Nodded.
Logs match. Embassy feeds show guards inside bounds.
Court nobles shifted. Whispers turned to stares at Kest.
People stood silent. Packet delivered. Job done. Saren rose. Prefect, your wards failed. Chancellor, note the Humans Code Act. Efficiency. She fixed on Elias. Envoy, you breach court unbidden. Yet bring truth. What drives a lone soft skin to this? Elias shrugged. Problems need solving. Yours included. Illyra circled closer. Queen, imagine him allied proper. His skills mend our grid flaws. Factions would back you stronger.
Kest spat. He unravels order.
Deploy hunter drones. Enough. Saren's voice cut steel. She descended the dais, stopped before Elias. Taller by a head, her presence loomed. Yet his eyes held steady. No flinch. Cultural clash hit her. Vol Queens commanded through fear weaves, psychic dominance. Humans, they fixed what broke. Resilient. Unyielding. Envoy Ward. She extended a claw, not in threat. Your complaint stands. Prefect, stand down. Tesk, draft reparations. Kest recoiled. Majesty. Now. Illyra's eyes gleamed. She whispered to a aide. Calculations spun. Weapons turned assets.
Tesk bowed to Elias. You turned arrest to audit.
Court shifts. Elias pocketed his tool. Just paperwork. Saren watched him turn for the doors. Guards parted without order. Her court buzzed, not with fear, but questions.
Who was this human? Why else could he unravel?
As doors closed, Kest leaned in. He humiliated us. Let me... Saren cut him off. No. Watch him closer. He survives politics we wield as weapons.
Illyra smiled. Or we wield him.
In the corridor, Elias nodded to Tesk. Next shipment prepped, Tesk frills relaxed. Yes, and now, perhaps, without interference. Competence spoke. Respect followed. But whispers chased him. Illyra's faction plotted. Kest simmered.
Saren pondered. The throne room trap became her first true test.
And the human? He just kept solving. Guards clamped onto Elias Ward's arms. Scaled fingers dug in. He didn't flinch. The throne room hushed. High Prefect Oren Kest stepped forward. His frills quivered with rigid fury. Envoy Ward, you destabilize the court. Under Val authority, you are detained. Elias met Kest's glare. Interstellar Safe Conduct Clause 47B. Article 3. Envoys immune from hostile detention during active diplomacy. He twisted slightly. Guards tightened grips. Tesk. Read it aloud. Archivist Mediator Tesk froze mid-bow. His tendrils twitched. Protocol bound him. He unrolled a data slate. Voice steady, he recited. Clause 47B, sub 3. No signatory power shall impede envoy transit or person without mutual consent. Violation triggers reparations and recall. Signed by Vol Concord, Cycle 1927. Kest's scales flushed violet. Irrelevant. Majesty overrides. Queen Saren Vol rose from her dais. At 23 cycles, her throne sat precarious. Challengers circled. She needed control. Her court watched. Enough. Claws extended. Voice wove psychic threads. Envoy Ward. The obedience field ignited. Pressure slammed Elias. Invisible waves crushed down. Knees buckled worldwide under Vol Queens. Psychic dominance. Fear weave.
His vision blurred. Muscles screamed.
But he breathed deep. Anchored feet. Human trick. Ground through chaos. Fixed ships in storms. Repaired hulls mid-firefight. Just another field. He straightened.
Inch by inch.
Court gasped. Frills collapsed. Aides recoiled. Elias rolled shoulders. Casual. Your Majesty. Long audience. Mind a chair? Saren's eyes widened. Field hummed full strength.
He stood.
Unbowed. Sweat beaded his brow, but posture held. No thrall. No fear. Kest snarled. Impossible. Double the weave. Tesk's tendrils nodded. Prefect, the claws. Silence! Chancellor Illyrisan glided forward. Her robes whispered calculations. Actions waited her cue. She read the shift. Human, asset, or weapon, Majesty. Let the envoys witness. Turn this... Saren hesitated. Throne room spun whispers. Guards loosened grips. Elias rubbed wrists. Nodded to Illyra. Hearing works. Fixes the record. Kest slammed fist on stone. He resists the field. Threat. Elias scanned faces. Saren's claws retracted slight. Tesk hit data slate. Illyra's gaze sharpened. He spoke even. Neural lock? Humans trained against Psi in fringe wars. Baseline resilience, but clause stands. Release me. We audit the interference. Shipment delay cost you 3 cycles. Saren sat. Weighed optics. Young queen. Pressures crushed elders. This human unraveled her trap. Court buzzed. Not fear. Curiosity. Restrain the field. Kest balked. Majesty. Now. Field faded.
Elias exhaled.
No kneel. No break. Illyra smiled thin. Hearing tomorrow, dawn cycle. Broadcast to all prefectures. Envoy Ward demonstrates. Compliance. Efficiency over spectacle.
Chair still open?
Laughter rippled. Nervous.
Saren's lips twitched. First crack in ice.
Tesk bowed. Stools available, envoy. A guard fetched one. Plain alloy. Elias sat. Legs stretched. Court stared. Human sat while queen loomed.
Saren leaned forward. You fixed the cryo relay.
Unassisted. Standard.
He pulled multi-wrench from belt.
Polished. Your tech's solid. Locks just gum.
He mocks us.
Saren watched Elias. Steady hands. No boast. Illyra circled. Majesty. The hearing exposes rivals. Kest's delays. My faction pushes reparations. Kest world. Treason. Strategy. Tesk cleared throat. Protocol. Hearing requires witnesses. Envoys inbound. Politics listened. Politics churned. He fixed problems. They wove webs. Shipment manifests ready. Interference logged.
Tesk nodded.
Prepped. Elias stood. Chair scraped. Claws holds till hearing. Guards parted. No order needed. He walked out. Corridor cool. Whispers trailed. Tesk caught up. Frills relaxed. You turned arrest to audit. Bold. Just read the fine print. Elias checked chrono. Next pod lands soon. In throne room, Saren drummed claws. Kest loomed. Let me contain him. No. She eyed Illyra. Watch.
He survives what breaks us.
Illyra whispered to aid. Or we break him to our use. But Elias moved on. Competence carved path. Respect brewed in wake. Dawn cycle neared. Elias reached docks. Pods hummed. Human crew waved. Boss? Manifests? Clear.
He signed slate. Court's folding.
Politics, not plots. Crew laughed. Aliens think we're fragile. Back in chambers, Saren dismissed court. Alone, she tested field on mirror. Knelt instant. Human stood. What grounded him? Kest burst in. Majesty intercepts. Illyra bribes envoys. Saren sighed. Predictable. Double guards on docks. Yes. He paused. The human? Invite him. Let him speak. Kest stiffened, but obeyed. Illyra's alcove buzzed aids. Human resists field. Leak it. Panic Kest's base. Aid nodded, hearing our stage. Tesk archived logs. Secret tally. Who gained from delays. Illyra's seals everywhere. Elias prepped. Data slate glowed. Clauses stacked. Facts over fear. Hearing chamber filled.
Envoys perched.
Holocams live. Saren entered. Elias followed. No chains. Sat straight. Kest opened.
Human threat, Elias countered. Delays intentional.
Clause violations. Tesk read manifests. Proof stacked. Illyra spun. Reparations favor trade. Crowd murmured. Saren silenced. Envoy. Your field resistance? Training. Elias shrugged. Humans adapt. Gasps. Envoys leaned. Kest escalated. Demonstrate loyalty. Kneel now.
Field fired again. Pressure hit.
Elias breathed. Held. Stood. Chamber erupted. Saren rose. Enough. Audit passes. Shipment releases. Envoy Ward accepted. Kest recoiled. Illyra recalculated. Respect shifted. No fear. Questions. Paperwork? Tesk smiled. Done. Court buzzed. Human fixed court. Unraveled plots. Saren watched him leave. Throne steadied. Competence crowned. But Illyra's whisper lingered. Next move. Ours. Corridor empty. Job done. Whispers chased. Politics simmered. He walked steady. Resilience won rounds. In throne room, Saren turned to Kest. Watch him closer. Kest bowed. Fury banked. Illyra slipped out. Plans spun. Tesk trailed Elias. You turned trap to test. Just work. Competence spoke. Respect echoed. Crisis averted. For now. Pods thrummed. Next crisis waited. Elias boarded. Crew ready? Aliens learned slow. Humans fixed fast. Tesk shoved the data slate under Elias's nose. Red alerts pulsed across the screen. Off record, Envoy Ward, human insight. Elias snatched the slate. Power grid schematics flickered. Spikes in the palace stabilization array. He traced the fault lines with his thumb.
Sabotage. Someone cut the secondary relays.
Tesk's frills quivered. Confirm.
Court session in 10 minutes. Queen Saren cannot falter. Elias pocketed his multi-tool. Lead the way. They dashed down the corridor. Palace walls hummed with hidden conduits. Elias's boots thudded on polished stone. Tesk's claws clicked faster. Alarms stayed silent, for now. At the access hatch, High Prefect Orin Kest blocked the path. 4 guards flanked him, stunners raised. Human restricted. Return to quarters. Elias halted. Tesk stepped forward. Archivist override. Protocol 47B. Grid integrity supersedes. Kest's eyes narrowed. No human touches Val systems. Detain him.
Guards lunged. Elias sidestepped the first grab.
He twisted the second guard's arm. Gentle pressure on the joint. The alien yelped and dropped. Elias faced Kest. Grids failing. Gravity drop in minutes. Let me fix it.
Kest snarled. Threat confirmed.
Seize. The floor lurched. Gravity stuttered. Elias's stomach flipped. Guards stumbled. One floated upward, claws scrabbling air. Alarms blared. Elias dove for the hatch panel. Locked. He yanked his multi-tool. Bits whirred. Sparks flew. Tesk. Reroute command off to me. Tesk slapped his protocol pad. Done. Hurry. Kest roared. Stop him! Guards charged again. One slammed into Elias's back. Elias elbowed free. Kept cutting. Hatch hissed open. Inside, conduits glowed hot. Wires frayed. Deliberate slices. Elias traced the sabotage. Power bleeding. Gravity weakened. Tools drifted from his belt. He snatched them mid-air. Guards piled at the hatch. Kest barked orders. Seal it! Elias ignored them. He stripped insulation with pliers. Twisted wires barehanded. Heat singed his palms. No time for gloves. Manual bypass. Bridge the aux line. Tesk hovered at the edge.
Court assembles. Saren enters now.
Elias soldered the junction. Sparks bit his knuckles. He clamped the bypass. Power surged.
Light stabilized. Gravity snapped back.
Guards thudded to the floor. Kest staggered, face purple. Elias wiped sweat. Emerged from the hatch. Fixed. Array stable. Kest pointed. Arrest this intruder. Footsteps echoed. Chancellor Elira Sen swept in, robes swirling. Prefect. Stand down. Her eyes flicked to Elias. Calculations spun behind them. The human just saved the throne room. Tesk nodded. Logged. Sabotage confirmed. Cuts match Illyra's faction seals from earlier delays. Illyra's frills stiffened. Coincidence. Maintenance oversight. Elias handed the slate to Tesk. Scans don't lie. Tool marks fresh. Someone wanted the Queen to drop mid-speech. Kest growled. Lies. Human planted it. More guards arrived, but they hesitated. Whispers spread. Gravity held. Human did it. Saren's voice cut through. Report. The Queen strode up, flanked by envoys. Her crown gleamed under restored lights. Court hovered behind holocams, whirring. Tesk bowed. Majesty. Stabilization array sabotaged. Envoy Ward traced and repaired. Gravity restored manually.
Saren's gaze locked on Elias. Demonstrate.
Elias opened his multi-tool, held it out. Bypass clamp. Human field kit. Works on anything. Guards murmured. Envoys leaned in. Kest fumed, silent. Illyra smiled thin. Impressive. But whose seals on the cut wires? Tesk projected the slate. Yours, Chancellor. Verified. Court gasped. Illyra's faction shifted uneasy. Saren raised a hand. Audit all. Prefect Kest, secure the logs. Envoy Ward, your insight stays. Kest bowed stiff. As commanded. His eyes burned holes in Elias. Elias nodded. Job's done. But as he turned, gravity flickered again. Faint. A secondary fault. Tesk caught it first. Another spike. Deeper array. Elias spun back. Not over.
Saren's frills flared. Fix it.
Now, Kest blocked again. No. Human contained.
Guards closed ranks, Illyra whispered to Alice.
Plans churned. Elias eyed the routes. Maintenance shafts branched below. Tesk, schematics.
Tesk beamed them. Elias memorized.
Palace core. Saren nodded. Permitted. Kest protested. Majesty, silence. Saren's voice cracked like a whip. He proved worth. Darkness swallowed him. Conduits thrummed hot. He climbed down, tool clipped to belt. Air grew thick, ionized, deeper. Red lights pulsed. Sabotage worse here. Core regulator sliced clean. Palace heart. One wrong cut, full collapse. He wedged into the crawl space. Sweat dripped. Wires hummed danger. Gotta reroute the primaries. Fingers probed. Found the master relay. Illyra's seal glowed faint. Above, shouts echoed. Kest's voice. Flush him out. Boots pounded. Gas hissed. Stun dispersal. Elias worked faster. Stripped leads. Cross-linked to emergency backups. Sparks flew wild. One arced to his arm. Skin sizzled.
He grated teeth.
Clamped it. Power stabilized. But footsteps closed. He sealed the panel. Climbed up. Guards waited. Stunners hot. Kest grinned. End of line. Human. Core fixed. Check your pads. Tesk's voice piped from above. Confirmed. Full array green. Guards lowered weapons. Uncertain.
Saren appeared at the shaft rim.
Prefect. Explain the second attempt. Kest paled. Unknown, Majesty. Illyra stepped forward. Perhaps Prefect oversight. My seals? Forged. Court buzzed. Envoys whispered. Holocams captured every flinch. Elias stood straight. Hands blackened but steady. Anyone can cut. Few can fix under fire. Saren studied him. No fear in her eyes. Respect gleamed. Envoy Ward. Your crew awaits. But stay. Advise. Kest recoiled. Illyra's smile cracked. Tesk leaned close. You turned their trap again. Just work. But as court dispersed, Kest cornered Tesk. Watch the human. Or join him.
Illyra slipped away.
Data slate in hand. Her own scans. Saren summoned Elias private. Throne room quiet. Why help? No gain. Humans fix. Thrones stand longer that way. She nodded slow. Competence noted. Politics shift. Outside, pods thrummed. Crew signaled ready. But Elias lingered. Whispers chased him. Respect spread. Fear faded. Yet Kest's shadow loomed. A sealed message tube waited in his quarters. Illyra's mark. Gravity held, for now, but the next cut brewed deeper. Elias pocketed his tool. Walked steady. Job never done. Saren watched from the balcony. Throne firmer. Human enigma. Ally? Threat, Tesk trailed. Court changes. You crown it. Elias boarded the pod. Adapt. Doors hissed shut. Acceleration pressed. Aliens learned. Humans endured. But in the palace core a faint wire sparked, unseen. Illyra's true play uncoiled. Kest gripped Queen Saren's voice boomed through the grand chamber. Envoy Elias Ward, you stand accused of invasive destabilization. Your unauthorized repairs threaten the realm's core stability. Elias stood at the chamber's center, wrists bound in energy cuffs. Hollow screens flickered around him, broadcasting to every palace feed. The Queen's throne loomed on the dais, flanked by her council. Orun Kest glowered from the security podium, claws tapping his arrest tablet. Chancellor Illyrasin sat poised, her data slate glowing. Archivist Mediator Tesk hovered nearby, translating in real-time whispers to Elias's earpiece. He met Saren's gaze. No flinch. Your Majesty, repairs fixed what sabotage broke. Gasps rippled through the court.
Saren leaned forward, her iridescent scales flashing under the lights. Sabotage?
Bold claim from an off-worlder who bypassed protocols.
Illyra Sen raised a manicured claw.
Witnesses, Your Majesty. A technician shuffled forward first. His robes trembled. The human entered restricted vents, no clearance. He cut power relays, deliberate breach. Elias watched the technician's eyes dart to Illyra. Cued. He stayed silent, scanning the chamber. Drones hummed overhead, lenses locked on him. Next witness. A guard captain. Scans show foreign tools. He overrode seals. Destabilizer. Murmurs swelled. Kest nodded sharply, his bulk shifting. Illyra's lips curved, a predator smile. Saren tapped her podium. Lights dimmed. Evidence mounts, Envoy. Your actions sow chaos. Elias straightened. Cuffs hummed against his skin, but his voice cut clear. Request maintenance logs. Full access. Project them here. Laughter echoed. Kest barked. Denied. Human lies. Protocol allows defense data, Prefect. Queen? Saren's eyes narrowed. She assessed Elias. Steady posture, blackened hands from prior fixes. Granted. Let's see this proof. Tesk's tendrils danced over his console. Hollow projectors whirred. Maintenance logs bloomed across the dais wall. Timelines, timestamps, access codes. Elias nodded to Tesk. Isolate sabotage entries. Cross-reference my repairs.
Lines scrolled. Red flags pulsed.
First, then seal tampered. Cycle 47. 2. Power surge induced. Timestamp. Pre-Elias arrival. Court hushed. Next. Core relay fried. Saboteur ID masked, but pattern-matched guard rotations. Kest's rotations. A noble gasped. Internal? Elias pointed. See the timestamps. Sabotage hit before I arrived. I fixed under fire. Logs don't lie. Projections expanded. Overlays showed his repairs, stabilized grid, rerouted flows. Palace power held steady post-fix. Illyra's slate dimmed. Her smile froze. Saren rose. Archivist, verify. Tesk's voice quavered. Authentic. Majesty. Human. Corrected 12 breaches. Ones we deemed glitches. Kest slammed his podium. Fabrication. He's the source. He jabbed his claw at guards.
Arrest him! Now!
Energy batons activated. 4 enforcers charged. Elias twisted as the first lunged. Cuffs sparked. He'd palmed a cuff key from Tesk's earlier pass. Click. Wrists free. He sidestepped, grabbed a fallen baton, reversed it into the second guard's knee joint. Crack. Guard crumpled. Third swung high. Elias ducked, baton whipping low. Legs buckled. Broadcast drones captured every move. Feeds blared across the palace. Saren shouted, "Stand down." Kest ignored her. Corridor lockdown.
Seal the chamber.
Alarms wailed. Bulkheads groaned, shut. Red lights bathed the room. Hollow screens split. Chamber view, corridor cams. Pods frozen mid-transit. Elias faced the last guard. No strike. He tossed the baton aside. Logs are public now. Kest snarled, drawing his sidearm. You humiliated us. Threat ends. Illyra stood. Prefect, the feeds. Billions watch. Reconsider. Too late. Kest fired. Elias rolled. Bolt scorched the floor. Saren's guards hesitated. Her voice thundered. Kest. Cease, he whirled. Majesty, he's... Projections flickered. A new log auto-loaded. Kest's access code on 3 sabotage entries. Court erupted. Nobles surged forward. Traitor. Kest froze. Arm lowered. Elias rose, dust on his tunic. Not me, your own.
Saren descended the dais. Guards parted.
She stopped inches from Elias. Her breath quickened, scales rippling. You turned our trial to truth. He nodded once. Jobs fixing, Majesty. Not fighting. Tesk hurried over, slate clutched. Lockdown holds. Broadcast loops the logs. Illyra edged toward a side exit.
Her eyes locked on Elias, calculating. Kest backed against the sealed wall.
This proves nothing. Saren turned to him. It proves enough. Detain the prefect. Guards swarmed Kest. He thrashed, but cuffs snapped on. Chamber doors hissed. Partial unlock. Elias glanced at the projections. Sabotage chain led deeper. Untraced signals from Chancellor's wing. Illyra slipped through the gap. Gone. Saren faced Elias. You stay. Advise. He rubbed his wrists. Crew waits. But throne needs fixes first. Nobles bowed as they passed. Whispers followed. The human sees what we miss.
Tesk leaned in.
You flipped the board, Envoy. Elias shrugged. Logs did. Outside, corridors thrummed. Pods idled, but a side panel sparked, faint, unseen. Elias paused, tool in pocket.
Saren watched from the dais. Respect hardened her gaze.
Politics cracked. Kest glared from custody. This isn't over.
Illyra's shadow fled deeper. Her slate pulsed. Next target cued.
He stepped into the corridor.
Calm. Ready? Alarms faded. Feeds replayed his stand. Aliens tuned in. Humans fixed. Drones endured. But in the palace core, that spark grew. Illyra's play uncoiled. Kest gripped his comment. Hidden signal sent.
Elias boarded his pod.
Doors sealed. Acceleration hit. Job never done. Saren summoned her council. The human stays free. Watch him. Learn. Tesk nodded. Illyra's empty seat loomed. Respect spread. Fear cracked, but the next cut loomed. Elias signaled his crew. Delay departure. One more fix. Pod banked toward the core. Sparks awaited. Word 47. Guards slammed Elias Ward against the cold alloy wall of the holding cell. Their scaled grips bruised his arms. High Prefect Oren Kest loomed in the doorway. His crest flared in triumph. Stress fields, cycle 1, Kest barked. Blue energy hummed to life around Elias. Pressure crushed his chest, lungs burned. He dropped to his knees. The fields pulsed, intense for 10 seconds, then a 2-second gap. Repeat. Elias forced steady breaths through the onslaught.
In. Out.
Count the beats. Kest watched from the viewport. Human envoy. Spy. Saboteur. Break now, or suffer.
The cycle hit again. Elias gritted his teeth.
Cap. Pattern locked. 10 on. 2 off. Hours blurred. Or. Minutes. Fields ramped higher. Sweat soaked his tunic. A slot hissed open. Meal tray slid in. Stale nutrient paste and a flimsy plastic lid. Elias waited for the gap. Grabbed the tray. Snapped the edge against the bench. Sharp shard in hand. Kest's voice crackled over the intercom. Confess your network. Queen Saren demands it. Elias ignored him. Next cycle built. He timed it. Fields peaked. Gap hit. He lunged to the door panel. Sensor grid glowed faint blue. Shard jammed into the lower node, twisted. Sparks flew.
Sensor fried. Failsafe engaged.
Door bolts clunked open. Alarms wailed. Prisoner escape. Containment breach. Elias stepped into the corridor. Calm strides toward the hearing chamber. Guards rounded the corner.
4 of them. Stunners raised. Freeze, human. Elias raised empty hands.
I'm heading back to the Queen's court. Unarmed. They hesitated. Protocol glitch in their eyes. One ComEd cast. He's walking toward the chamber. Kest's roar echoed. Recapture. Lethal force authorized. Elias kept moving. Corridors branched with crystal-veined walls pulsing light, Valian security webs. Pods zipped overhead. Court feeds flickered on wall screens. His cell escape replayed in loop. Archivist Mediator Tesk appeared ahead, robes fluttering.
Envoy Ward. Stop.
This is protocol, Elias said. Door failed safe. I'm due in chamber. Tesk's frills quivered. The fields? No one escapes those, ever. They reached the chamber doors. Nobles spilled out, murmuring. Queen Sarenval stood on the dais, young face sharp with calculation. Her throne gleamed under hollow orbs. Chancellor Illyra Sen flanked her, slate clutched tight. Your Majesty, interrogation complete. Ready to resume talks. Saren's eyes narrowed. Multi-lidded gaze flicked to the screens. Escape footage looped. Kest burst in behind. Phalanx of guards. Arrest him.
He bypassed. Silence, Saren snapped.
Explain, human. Elias met her stare. Stress field cycle 10-2. Predictable. Tray shard shorted the sensor. Failsafe opened the door. Gasps rippled through the court. Nobles leaned in. Tesk whispered to Saren. Impossible. Fields adapt. No Valian survived cycle 3 without confession. Kest snarled. Lies. He's augmented. Dangerous. Illyra stepped forward, voice silk. Or competent. Majesty, perhaps we test him properly. Not with toys. Saren raised a hand. Court hushed. Elias stood still, pulse steady.
Envoy Ward, Saren said.
You were to be broken. For spectacle. To show my control. Jobs fixing problems, Elias replied. Not breaking. Screens shifted. Palace feeds now showed the cell empty sparking panel. Nobles whispered. He timed it. Scrap metal? Our tech fails him? Kest gripped his calm. Double the fields on the next one. Crush him. Saren ignored him. Turned to Elias. Prove your value. Palace's logs show sabotage. Trace it. Goal handed. Elias nodded. Access terminals? Tesk led him to a side console. Fingers flew over hollow keys. Court watched. Tension thickened. Signal chain, Elias said. Pulled up threads. Untraced ping from outer wing. Ilra paled. Her slate beeped. Subtle. Kest barked orders. More guards flooded in.
Elias traced deeper.
Chancellor's sector. Masked relay. Saren's gaze hardened on Illyra. Chancellor. Illyra smiled. Glitch. Check it, Saren commanded. Tesk interfaced. Confirmed. Humans right. Origin? Your wing. Court erupted. Accusations flew. Illyra backed toward a side door. Majesty, this human manipulates. Elias blocked her path. Casual step.
Logs don't lie. Guards grabbed Illyra.
She struggled. Slate clattered. Kest lunged at Elias. You, Saren's voice cut through. Stand down, prefect. He serves. Kest froze. Crest deflated. Elias picked up the slate, cracked it open. Next target queued. Core power node.
Saren seized it.
Illyra spat. You throne stealer pup. I built this court. Screams echoed. Court nobles bowed to Saren. Deeper now. Respect edged out fear. Tesk leaned to Elias. You flipped it. With a tray shard, Ellis shrugged. Pattern was there. Tools too. Saren faced him. Stay. Advise. Crew waits, Elias said. Rubbed wrists, but throne needs fixes. Nobles parted as they passed. Whispers chased. Human sees blind spots. Corridors thrummed. Pods idled. Elias paused at a side panel. Faint spark. Tool from pocket, shard remnant. Saren watched from dais. Her gaze shifted. Respect gleamed. Kest glared from shadows. Not over. Illyra's shadow fled in feeds. Slate data pulsed. Deeper plots. Alarms quieted. Feeds replayed his walk. Aliens tuned in galaxy-wide. But Palace core hummed wrong. Spark grew.
Kest gripped hidden comm. Signal sent.
Saren summoned council.
Watch. Learn. Tesk nodded. Illyra's seat empty. Elias signaled crew. Delay launch. One fix left. Pod banked to core. Sparks waited. Competence endured. Politics bent. In the core vault, shadows moved. Kest's team assembled. Trap set. Elias docked. Door hissed. He stepped in. Blue hum built. But he smiled. Pattern same. Always. Elias traced the blue field's edge with his shard. The hum spiked. A hairline fracture glowed in the nearest node. Same overload pattern as the panels. Kest burst from shadows. Fields lock now. 3 enforcers flanked him, staves raised. Elias jammed the shard into the fracture. Sparks flew. The field flickered. Node overloaded. Blue webs collapsed with a whine. Enforcers charged. Elias rolled left. Grabbed a loose conduit. Yanked hard. Core panel popped open. Inner spark danced. Queen's vault power source. Kest fired a stun bolt. It grazed Elias's shoulder. Numbness spread. Elias plunged the shard into the spark. Circuits bridged. Lights stabilized. Vault hummed steady. Enforcers reached him. Elias kicked the first's knee. Cartilage crunched. Second swung stave. Elias ducked. Drove elbow into throat. Kest lunged. Threat neutralized. Elias spun, conduit whipping.
It cracked Kest's helm.
Prefect staggered. Door override beeped. Elias punched the release. Vault sealed behind him as he sprinted out. Pod banked hard. Alarms wailed. Council chamber feeds replayed it.
Nobles gasped.
Saren's mandibles clicked sharp. Secure him, she ordered.
My chambers. Now. Guards converged on Elias's pod. He raised hands. No fight left. They cuffed him light. Protocol only. Escorted through thrumming corridors. Whispers followed. He broke Kest's trap. Core lives.
Saren's private antechamber gleamed gold-veined stone.
No court. Just her throne days. Guards shoved Elias in. Door sealed. She rose, robes whispering. Younger up close. Eyes sharp, but fatigue lines etched her frills. Voice low, no echo amplifiers. You fix what we cannot. He stood straight, rubbed shoulder. Job needed doing, Saren paced. Illyra's gone. Treason sealed, but whispers grow. Kest eyes you. Faction splinter. She stopped, met his gaze. Exile. Take your crew. Silence on palace flaws. No reports off-world. Silence buys nothing. Sabotage links deeper. Illyra's funding stream. Off-book slates. I saw traces.
Her frills flared.
You presume much. Patterns don't lie. Give me joint authority. Written. Investigate with Tesk. Root it out.
Saren's claws tapped stone. You demand from a queen. Offer stands till I walk.
Elias shrugged. Crew launches soon. Your throne crumbles either way. Tesk entered. Slate clutched. Archivist's robes dust-streaked. Majesty. Tesk bowed low.
Proof confirmed. Funding stream traces to Sen's faction vault.
Hidden relays. Elias flagged the codes. Saren snatched the slate. Scanned holologs. Transfers glowed red millions in untraceable credits. Illyra's shadow operatives.
Tesk's voice steady.
Kest signed off. Blind or bought. Saren's eyes narrowed. Elias watched her grip tighten. Slate cracked faintly. Summoned Chancellor Sen's remnants.
Saren's command cut air. All credentials stripped.
Vaults seized. Kest confined pending audit. Guards outside snapped acknowledgments. Footfalls pounded away. Tesk glanced at Elias. Bold. Protocol demands deference. Elias met Saren's stare. Results demand truth. She set the slate down. Whole. Joint authority granted.
In writing.
Tesk translates. Stylus appeared. She etched the decree. Royal seal hummed active. Elias took the slate copy. Nodded. Crew holds. We start at Illyra's old relay hub. Saren's frills smoothed.
Kest protected you now, as witness.
Door opened. High prefix stormed in. Helm dented. Staves absent.
Majesty. Human assaulted. Silence.
Saren thrust the decree.
You protect him. Or join Illyra. Kest's mandibles locked. Glared at Elias. As ordered. Felt the weight shift. Felt the weight shift. Fear gone from stairs. Respect lingered. Corridors buzzed louder. Nobles bowed deeper. Feeds galaxy-wide looped his vault breach. Pod bay neared. Crew waved from ramp. Tesk fell in step. Sen's faction fractures. More streams hidden. Elias scanned walls. Faint relay hum. Pattern same. We trace. Kest trailed. Calm silent. Signal jammed. Elias's shard trick earlier.
Saren watched from dais feed. Nodded once.
He sees. But vault depths stirred. Illyra's shadow operative crouched in sublevels. New slate pulsed. Human pushes. Activate phase 2. Credits flowed. Pods prepped off-grid. Kest's private channel flickered live. Elias boarded. Door ramped up. But alarm pinged. External dock. Unmarked pod latched. Breach fields weak. He smiled. Pattern same. Always. The pod ramp sealed with a hiss. Unmarked craft clung to the dock. Breach fields flickered red.
Intruder alert.
His shard chimed. Crew froze mid-prep. Kest shoved forward, staves drawn. Human, stand down. Scanned the hull feed. Shadowy figure inside the pod. Slate pulsing. Relay sabotage signature. Same as Illyra's hubs. Jammed their signal, Elias barked to Tesk. Now. Tesk's frills quivered. Tapped his comm. Done. But grid strain rising. Crew scattered to stations. Elias patched into palace net. Power nodes blinked. Sends loyalists routing overloads. Final play. Lights dimmed. Palace plunged. Black. Emergency klaxons wailed. Air recyclers stuttered. Screams echoed from corridors. Nobles panicked in the void. Kest's mandibles clacked.
Containment breach! Seal the bay!
Elias grabbed a glow lamp. Life support first. Crew, manual, overrides. Tesk, map, the subgrids. Central control offline. Queen, she's got feeds. We buy time. Elias cracked a panel. Wires sparked. He rerouted power from cargo cells. Recyclers hummed back. Crew nodded. Split into teams. Young techs followed his gestures. Valves twisted, pumps primed. Kest loomed.
This is treason. You caused, save it.
Bridge the east wing or kids suffocate. Kest snatched it. Clambered into ducts. Grudging clicks echoed. Elias moved fast. Palace staff poured in. Maids, cooks, clerks. Frills flared in fear. You. He pointed to a cluster. West recyclers. Follow the red lines. Twist, left, pump right. They blinked. Then ran. Another group. Oxy tanks. Bleed auxiliary to halls. No floods. Nods spread. They adapted. Human rhythm clicked with alien precision. Tesk relayed from shadows. Sen's faction calls emergency vote. Blackout forces it. Coup now. Pulled up his shard. Evidence chain glowed. Vault breach logs. Relay traces. Credit flows to Kest's channel. All time stamped. Feed it to the Queen's dais. Live. Tesk complied. Channel open. Galaxy watches. Elias glanced at a wall screen. Flickered to life on backup. Queen Saren's throne room. Candles lit her scales. Coup leaders arrayed. Sen's proxies. Frills high. High Prefect Kest compromised, Saren declared. Voice steel. Evidence from the human envoy. Traces to your slates. Proxies hissed. One thrust a claw. Blackout proves your weakness, Majesty. Vote now. Saren's eyes narrowed. Screen split. Elias's log scrolled. Credit pings. Pod latches. Grid sabotage. Pattern same. Saren echoed Elias's words. Your phase 2 fails. Lights returned. Palace hummed. Recyclers purred steady. Air freshened. Proxies faltered. Frills drooped. Kest dropped from ducts. Harness smoking. Stared at screen. Mandibles slack. Elias met his gaze. No words. Kest bowed. First time. Staff cheered softly. Glow lamps bobbed like stars. Tesk whispered. Vote collapses. Sen isolated. Checked vitals. Stable.
Saren's voice boomed from every speaker.
Coup. Denied. Record sealed. Her face filled it. Envoy ward. Approach. Elias stepped to the bay console. Crew parted. You held the palace. Saren's frills eased. Joint authority expands. Due clause. Human safe conduct. Full diplomatic. Seal hummed galaxy-wide. Appointed. Elias Ward interim liaison. Kest enforces. Kest knelt. Majesty. Took the digital copy. Teens stand down. Good work. Staff bowed. Whispers rose. He sees. Kept us alive. Tesk sidled close. Sen flees sublevels. Pods launch. Shard pinged. Final trace. Locked. Let her run. Evidence chases. Corridors lit full. Nobles emerged. Eyes wide. No fear. Bows deep. Kest fell in beside him. Your orders, liaison? Elias scanned ahead. Relay hum faint, but one node pulsed wrong. Illyri's last shadow. Sublevels. Clean sweep. Palace breathed. Throne secured. But Shard whispered, off-grid signal. Incoming fleet.
Human marked? Or bait?
Elias gripped the harness. Pattern same. Always.